going, everybody? StormeDegree 14 here. Welcome back to another nostalgia Critic reaction. We're going to be reacting to his latest review of the one and only Toy Story, made by Disney and Pixar. Now we all know that Toy Story is a fantastic animated movie series. I mean, one could argue that it should have stopped after 3, which I personally think it should have. And apparently we're on our way to 5 now, which, okay, I guess. But, yeah, I mean, again, I guess it just comes with being a cash cow sort of thing. Nostalgia makes money, apparently. But I'm talking about the original Toy Story. Now, the original Toy Story, gotta say, still very impressive animation, especially considering the time period that Toy Story was actually released in. It was aired in 1995. That was before I was actually born. By 4 years. So I was born in 1999. So, it was made before me, and honestly, the animation is still really good, even for today. Like, I mean, age does kind of show, especially with, like, some of the things, like the animation on Scud the dog. Because, yeah, it looks nothing like a dog, but... But either way, it's still a fantastic story. And definitely paved the way for, like, the kinds of things where, like, you see, like, various... Like, the trope of, like, various things coming to life when you're away. That's definitely, I think, one of the movies that paved that sort of trend into this realm. And I think it's definitely the one who did it the best. I mean... Heck, I know some people who are so convinced that, like, toys come to life when they're away. Like, whenever they fall over, I know someone who actually fixes them every time because they're afraid they're going to come back to hurt them if they don't. I mean, again, I honestly I don't blame them for believing that necessarily. I mean, like, there's countless movies with creepy dolls and stuff. So, 'cause again, Toy Story wasn't the only one who did this, but they made, like, a wholesome version of one. So, again, I'm really excited to see what Doug thinks of it after all this time. I know. But with that being said, let's get on with the reaction in 3, 2, 1.
Check us out at Midwest Gaming Classic April 4th through 6th in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And check us out at C2E2 April 11th to the 13th in Chicago, Illinois. Hope to see you there.
Mm-hmm. Dun, dun, dun. Alright, Doug, let's do this.
It's the mid-90s. Everything has CG in it, and Hollywood is about to release its first CG animated movie. There was talk of doing some prissy shit with toys, but we scrapped that to give you what we know always works.
And what's that?
Kablumageddon!
Ah, the Michael Bay sort of thing.
Unless you're a male in that demographic gold mine of 13 to 18.
Ugh.
This is extreme, non-stop action.
Yeah, see, like, all the CGI in these don't look too well. But I feel like the ones in Toy Story still work very well.
Behold, Agent Hitman. A character who's way too advanced for mid-90s CG, but just go with it.
I'm in the dimly lit lab with reflective surfaces.
I love the makeup.
Easy for us to render. Now find the disc with the names and/or codes on it to stop the monsters and/or robots from destroying us all.
90s catchphrase.
With his partner, Agent Love Interest, a no-nonsense
Agent Love
assassin
Interest.
with awkward anatomy we clearly haven't figured out yet, but our horny fan base won't care.
Try to keep up.
Hey, it's the 90s.
Is it literally a box under a shirt? It looks so dumb, but I get, yeah, they made the joke, but still, it looks so funny.
I'm not just some pretty face who needs to be saved. I can take care of myself, and I'm caught.
And because we're gonna have a weird fetish for disaster flicks for a while, you can watch our heroes fight aliens with Mother Nature.
Throw the tornadoes! The volcanoes! The thing from Deep Rising!
Someone remembers me.
So, if you're ready to see the dinosaurs from Jurassic Park and the sharks from Deep Blue Sea fight on the Titanic, then please come right for us.
Good grief.
Kablumageddon!
What does this have to do with toys?
First CG animated movie.
That could have been what we got.
Yeah. But we didn't.
In 1995, Disney released the first computer-generated animated film, Toy Story. And 30 years later, most mainstream animated films, in one way or another, are still trying to replicate it.
Yeah.
Similarly, for decades, Snow White provided the feel and tone for most hand-drawn films. Toy Story laid the groundwork for most CG films. Sure, there's an occasional variant, but most movies try to replicate this style. Snarky humor with a good heart that has modern dialogue with comedy for both kids and adults.
Correct.
Even Shrek, the other film most animated features try to mimic, you could argue is Toy Story taken to a more self-aware and cynical extreme.
And that's actually kind of funny considering the DreamWorks is basically anti-Disney, so yeah, them both having something similar, it makes a lot of sense.
But while this is the norm and has been for several years, people forget this was kind of a risky choice. Most CG in movies at the time were used for low-lit action and creepy monsters and natural disasters.
Okay.
The idea of doing a bright and colorful G-rated film about children's toys did not seem like the logical choice.
Fair
Honestly,
enough,
the trailer
but
for this movie was so bad, I didn't know anyone that was excited to check it out.
really?
Literally, the big clenching joke, like the joke you end on in a trailer to get people to see the movie, is the cute little spaceman saying he can fly around the room.
Yeah, that's not funny.
So thankfully, the film itself was very funny, winning over skeptical audiences, being nominated for a Best Screenplay Oscar, and breaking new ground for animated films. With likable characters, smart humor, and a story everybody can identify with, they knew they didn't have to change the industry, but rather the industry would have to change around them.
Right.
So what was it about this film that set the stage for the majority of modern-day animated features? Well, let's fall with style and take a look.
Let's
Because
see.
remember what we could have had.
Look out! That Muppet from Spawn!
Explode with explosion.
Let's take a look at Toy Story.
I gotcha.
Roll as we see a kid named Andy playing with his favorite toy, Woody the Cowboy.
Come on,
One-eyed Bart.
I'm here to stop
You
you, one-eyed Bart.
Boom!
When you reach that age and realize Sid would have been the cooler kid to play with.
I guess so. Sid was a crazy
Yeah,
cute
remind
person.
me, which one's the toy again?
Yeah.
Just remember what your old past said.
I mean, it's
Boy,
fair,
you
but
gotta believe.
And yeah, you think I'm crazy enough to make fun of Randy Newman, what many consider his most heartwarming dedication to childhood innocence?
yeah.
You bet I am. Why does he always sound drunk? You got a friend in me.
I mean, maybe the vibe is that, like, when you're drunk, you're happy, so it's just to give happy vibes. And maybe it's how adults associate with happy vibes. I don't know. I'm not saying all adults are drunks. I'm certainly not, but I don't know.
Okay, real talk. I don't see Randy Newman as one of the worst songwriters. There's actually some songs of his I enjoy. One of them even in this film. He's just aggressively generic, and I never got into the voice.
Really?
Is that really so surprising to hear someone say? You like
I
it,
mean,
fair
I guess
enough, but
that's
to me,
fair.
He always sounds like the happy, happy Joy Joy singer on Valium.
Some other folks might be a little bit smarter than I am. If and you ain't the granddaddy of all liars.
Anyway, Andy plays with his favorite toy, who
I guess so.
now noticing leaves his mouth open in the intro. Maybe he's coming to grips with his existence like,
Ugh. He looks stoned out of his mind. He's like, whoa. I shouldn't have drinking. I think someone poisoned my water.
how was I born? But as soon as Andy leaves the room, Woody, played by Tom Hanks, and all his other toys come to life.
Staff meeting, everybody. Got a staff meeting, you guys. Come on, let's go.
Yep.
It is fun comparing the technology back then and how mind-blowing it was to modern-day animated films.
True.
Don't get me wrong, for the first film, this looks very, very good, and it's very smart to choose toys as the main characters, as that's very CG-friendly.
Right.
Not only do the humans look weird like we discussed before, but, man, some of those pixely backgrounds are a little distracting nowadays.
I mean, yeah, but despite that, I still think it works very well.
These surfaces look like Doom half the time. Woody is the ringleader of the toys and even has a girlfriend named Bo Peep, played by Annie Potts, who again gets some weird faces out of him.
Yeah.
I'm just a couple of blocks away.
Also, yeah, but also Bo is a very strange character in Toy Story, I'll admit that. Like, especially like as an adult now, the suggestive themes that she talks about. Very strange, but, I mean, again, like you said, for an adult audience. Or for adult and kid audience, obviously.
If a grown man comes to a kid's birthday party with any of these faces, don't let him in.
Oh, don't worry. I know better.
Look, I'm
Picasso!
I don't get it.
You can easily see the Pixar formula getting set up, introducing characters through a slice-of-life scenario, utilizing comedy and puns, eventually leading to a relatable social problem both kids and adults can relate to.
Right, jealousy.
I don't think it's a coincidence this was done at the height of Seinfeld's popularity.
Oh, really?
As a lot of the comedic dialogue has a lot of Seinfeld snark. It's very easy to see these attitudes from the leads on that show.
It's just a mistake. Well, that mistake is sitting in your spot. This is no time to...
I mean, wasn't that a common thing back then, though? Where in a lot of movies, a lot of characters were basically just, like, sort of bootlegish versions of, like, famous TV show actors. It was sort of just, like, a way to get noticed or a way to feel relatable. Kind of, like, just copying, like, what was famous at the time. I don't know, like, in a more semi-subtlest way.
A panic. This is the perfect time to panic.
I found my moving buddy.
I found my moving buddy.
Great, now
These bows ain't loyal, eh?
I have guilt.
Oh, great. Now I have guilt. But I won't say from what. That was a long time ago. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Sarge, have you seen Slinky?
It's straw!
No, sir!
Woody has a fair amount of friends like Rex, voiced by Wallace Shawn.
How you doing, Rex?
Were you
Scared?
I was close to being scared.
Wait until I tell Andre. Slink, played by Jim Varney.
I got some bad news. Bad news?
I just found out we're going to do this till we're 80. As well as Ham and Potato Head, voiced by John Ratzenberger and Don Rickles.
That joke. Freaking...
Bad news?
I know I keep pausing it, but I have a lot to talk about. But this joke here, he takes his mouth off, basically calling Slinky a kiss ass. With Mr. Spell saying, haha.
G6. Oh, you sunk it. Pay up. No, not the ear. Give me the nose. Come on.
Feel lucky we're not wagering your tots again. They're all concerned because Andy is having a birthday party.
How about 3 out of 5?
New toys are going to replace him. I mean, come on, if he holds on to one of the first things Pixar ever animated, I think you're all safe.
Yeah.
Establish a recon post downstairs. Code red. Yes, sir.
Little green soldiers are sent to spy on the party, and as
Yeah,
you may have
love the
noticed,
green
not
soldiers.
every line is a home run.
Come on, we're not lying down on the job.
It's cool, though. That's Arlie Ermy as the sergeant. He'll make the dialogue more colorful.
Holy dog shit! Texas only steers it.
So wait, takes his last present and heads upstairs.
Andy's coming, everybody! Back to your places, hurry!
And remember, if anybody says Andy's coming at Disneyland, then you know what? Don't do that. It's gonna get old really quick.
Yeah.
Andy gets a toy based around his favorite movie. Yeah, still not buying that. Called Buzz Lightyear, played by Tim Allen.
Was that the theory they had about him?
Star Command, come in. Do you read me? Why don't they answer?
While everyone's great in this movie, we're used to seeing these types of performances from most of these actors.
Right.
Tim Allen is really doing something different from his usual norm.
Really?
He mainly plays the egotistical handy doofus with a heart of gold. Hell, even when they played another spaceman, he was still playing this type of role. But he really knocks it out of the park as a space ranger who actually thinks he's saving the universe and has no idea he's just a toy.
Right.
I never doubt for a second the galaxy of aliens and rangers he's saving is always going on in his head.
Right.
Buzz Lightyear mission launch.
It is very convincing.
4072. My ship is run off course en route to Sector 12.
This conflict of cowboys versus spacemen suggests him in the 50s or 60s, despite this apparently taking place in the 90s.
In a couple of days, everything will be just the way it was. They'll see. I'm still Andy's favorite toy.
Grows jealous of Buzz being Andy's new favorite as more and more the world around him transforms into Buzz's.
Your chief, Andy, inscribed his name on me.
Wow! With permanent ink.
He branded me with one of his dad's cigarettes.
And actually, hold on, let me notice something real quick. It's about
Your chief, Andy, inscribed his name on me.
Wow! With permanent ink.
You can see on this version, he also wrote the N backwards. I was wondering if he wrote the N backwards again on Buzz, because that actually would have been kind of funny. If like Andy was like a dumb kid, or just learning impaired in some way. I don't know why. Something made me think about that.
He branded me with one of his dad's cigarettes.
Damn.
We're introduced to the antagonist of the movie, a next-door neighbor named Sid, who everybody either knew growing up or was growing up.
Oh no.
It's a combat Carl.
He's a kid who loves blowing up toys so much, there's little to no grass left in his backyard.
Yeah.
Why is that soldier strapped to
I'm
the
surprised
explosive
his
device?
mom is not set in like
There's a
military.
hairy fella.
No, that's Scud, you idiot.
Are you sure? Dogs and humans don't look that different in this world.
No, not really.
I love it when villains in Pixar movies are just kids doing what they do.
Yeah.
Because they're so naturally violent little messed up shits when you think about it.
Mm-hmm. Fucking Darla.
The move, the better.
They're taking the death of that toy pretty well. Maybe
Yeah.
they were like, he knew what he was getting into when he applied for ages 4 and up.
Gosh. Imagine if, like, Sid looked away for a second and the guy was, like, running, trying to stop the bomb from blowing up, and that'd be horrible to think about.
After a joke I still don't know is clever, lame, or ahead of its time.
Oh.
Decides to trap Buzz in a corner when Andy's told he can only pick one toy to take to Pizza Planet.
Right.
The trap backfires, though, and knocks him out of the house via Lucas homage. Even down to the Wilhelm scream. Maybe it's one of his buttons, I don't know. After one of my favorite lines in the movie.
This was no accident.
I mean, Humpty Dumpty was
Humpty
pushed.
Dumpty was pushed.
God, that's funny.
Mm-hmm.
And my introduction to the A113
Or like-
joke. Yeah, I'm not kidding. I look for this in every animated film now.
Yeah. I know in Wall-E it was the A113 in that one. I was also going to say, one of the other jokes that they talked about was when they all hide for when Andy, like, tries to go grab Buzz. They draw in the Etch-a-Sketch a noose, basically saying he will hang for that.
Buzz sneaks aboard to get his payback.
Revenge is not an idea we promote on my planet.
Well, that's good.
But we're not on my planet. Are we?
Are we?
No.
This is when I was like, okay, this style needs to stay because most of 1995 Disney would have stopped at the first half of that line.
Mm-hmm.
But they were like, screw it, we want to be funny, and they convinced Disney to leave it in. Okay, I know it's not the
Well,
same
thank
level
goodness
as Ryan
for
Reynolds
that.
convincing Kevin Feige, but it's still pretty cool.
Oh, the lost toy.
Buzz fights Woody, causing them to fall out of the car.
Oh, this.
Woody realizes if he's going to find a way home, he has to bring Buzz, because without him, he won't be allowed back.
Yep.
Now you're sure this space
And the Pizza Planet truck is also in everywhere as well.
Uh-huh.
I should say, while the CG cartoon style was certainly being experimented with, the only two that really felt like they understood the importance of facial expressions was this and Casper. And okay, while I didn't personally get into that movie that much, it was the first time people saw CGI could have just as big a range of facial reactions as hand-drawn animation.
Really?
These little smirks and eye rolls and split-second ticks not only make the scenes a lot funnier, but they make the characters feel much more alive.
Yeah.
At a time when this
It's a
just
shark.
wasn't being utilized, at least not to this degree.
Come on, man, hurry up. I'm like, the pizzas are getting cold here.
Oh, sweet, a Buzz Lightyear doll, and it's alive!
No, you can't see
God,
it.
I'm stoned.
That actually would be a really funny premise if, like, if in Toy Story 5 there's a scene where, like, an adult just, or like some teen is like smoking weed and he sees all the toys walking because like they get caught being seen by a person. He's just like, oh dear, it's kicking in. It would be a really funny joke, honestly.
They make their way to Pizza Planet, which I'll just say I'm a 43-year-old man,
Oh, yeah.
and I am still waiting for this place to exist. I mean,
Yeah.
that's Alien the kindergarten game. But Buzz sneaks into a crane machine where he encounters even more oddities.
That's a stranger from the outside. Ooh.
I am Buzz Lightyear.
The aliens.
Well, technically, you should all know each other from the show, but
Yeah.
then again, Buzz is Zurg now, so who gives a shit about anything?
Oh, what? Really?
Claw's our master. Claw chooses who will go and who will stay.
This is ludicrous.
Sid tries his luck at the game, and maybe the biggest hole of the film, someone actually gets a toy from a crane machine.
Yeah.
Twice.
He has been chosen.
And he also gets a double prize somehow.
Stop again, zealots!
Not gonna lie, I kinda like the toy version of Midsommar. Sid
Yeah.
gets Buzz and Woody, who of course has terrible plans for them.
Let's go
Yep.
home and play.
Anyone else feel like this is Syndrome's backstory in reverse?
Kind of.
At Sid's home, we see he's just as cruel to his sister's toys as he is to his own.
Mm-hmm.
Genie's all better now.
Yeah, freaking Frankenstein's them.
I don't know what her problem is. I give Sid all my toys to have him improved. I'm not even kidding. The designs of Sid's
Oh, yeah, the
altered
spider
toys are some of the
baby
most
head thing.
imaginative creations in any Pixar film.
Yeah.
Even his room is filled with all sorts of hilarious little touches, like all the locks on the door, this bumper sticker, and
Nice.
I don't know what Killin' Paul Bunyan is, but if he has a poster of it, I'm into it.
Come in, Buzz Lightyear.
Well, there's something Paul Bunyan. All I can think of is the one Phineas and Ferb joke. The Paul Bunyans, where the food is good, but not too good, eh? Alright, not this part.
This is Star Command.
The next day they try to escape, but Buzz sees a commercial clarifying he is in fact a toy.
made in Taiwan.
Available at all Al's Toy Bound outlets in the Tri-County area.
Foreshadowing the movie too.
Influence as they're building up Wayne Knight's appearance, but honestly, I'm distracted by the TV's channel changer. What is the story behind this family?
Oh, I had never noticed that.
This starts the one song I do genuinely enjoy, I'll Go Sailing No More. It captures the right tone, it's sad, it has a decent melody. It's a song so good, even Randy's voice can't ruin it.
Now I know exactly who I am.
But God, does he try? He sounds like Will Sasso's impression of him.
I still haven't seen A Bug's Life or Toy Story, but I don't need to. You know, writing songs is easy.
Buzz tries to prove to himself he can fly, but goes boom, leading to Sid's
he
sister
loses his arm.
Mom, have you seen my Sally doll? Never mind.
Now I can torture his toys.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not too far off as Woody sees the sister playing with Buzz and tries to get him out.
The freaking doll's being beheaded.
Mom? Please excuse me, ladies.
I have to check on my mom. I think she's dying.
Oh, Hannah! Gone!
Right, he's drunk.
Buzz finally cracks having tea with the sister's dolls. I like one of the beheaded ones is called Marie Antoinette. And am I crazy, or is this some of the funniest acting Tim Allen's ever done?
Let's get you out of here, Buzz.
Don't you get it?
I am Mrs. Nesbit.
I am Mrs. Nesbit.
I'm telling you, this kid is weird. She's talking about monsters in her closet when she was younger. She's all messed up.
Ooh.
Woody reaches.
Now that is an interesting connection potentially. Except, unfortunately, isn't the Boo's real name Mary? This girl's name is Hannah. If the name was just a simple change, it would make for a very interesting connection, though.
It's his friends, but they don't know whether or not to trust him after what he did to Buzz. Buzz as well is not much help.
Yeah.
What are you trying to pull?
Nothing.
Well, we know when this goes public domain, Jagged Edge will make a horror film out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone abandons Woody. It's a little funny Slink is the last one to leave, even after his supposed true love does.
Yeah.
And Sid straps Buzz to a rocket, planning to launch him in the morning.
Like I said,
Bo is heartbroken. He's unable to find Woody or Buzz before they move away.
Oh, Woody. If only you could see how much Andy misses you.
That'd be nice! Let me in!
Yeah.
Woody.
I was gonna say, I just realized there's a bit of a confliction with Bo there as well. I mean, for Pete's... So, like, first of all, she thinks he murdered Buzz. And yet she knows that Andy's really upset. Her priorities are very confusing. Like, do you see what I mean? Like, at one moment she thinks he's a killer, the next moment, at the same time, she knows how much important is to Andy. It's just confusing.
He finally confesses his jealousy over Buzz. I mean, the dude is getting better in-jokes than him.
Nice.
And Buzz starts to realize just because he's a toy doesn't mean he can't save the day for someone special.
Correct.
I'm the one that should be strapped to that rocket. Buzz!
Come on, Sheriff.
Let's get this thing off of me and onto you. Woody is set free, but Buzz is taken to be
I can't wait for the next part.
He discovers the toys in Sid's room wants to help. He utilizes them to get back at Sid.
It's busted.
Who are you calling busted, Buster?
I'm talking to you.
Sid.
This scene is basically as funny as you would think it is.
Yes.
As I think they finally put together how scary Woody's face can be.
We don't like being
blown
up, Sid.
My name is Tommy Tina.
Yep.
I'm going to
The head twisting.
And Sid is suddenly terrified of every toy he sees.
Yeah.
Sid, do you want to play with Sally?
Oh, I hope Toy Story 5 is about its exposure therapy.
It would be really that actually would be a really cool concept if we saw Sid again. And he's like still has like trauma after what he saw, and he's like researching, convinced that like the toys are alive. So that would be really cool. Oh, I wish we could do that.
They try to follow the moving van with Andy's family on it, but Sid's dog sees them.
Scuzz. Jeez.
Yeah, for as bad as the people look in this, the animals look 10 times worse. My God, that looks like a whale banged a cow. He's having to show food fight to make it feel better.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! It's actually worse than food fight. Oh no! Oh, that's.
He's at it again!
They mistake him throwing the racer into the street, though, for him trying to kill more toys.
No, Clint, you don't understand!
Boy, for a character who said,
If only you could see how much Andy
Yeah,
misses
exactly.
you."
she sure is doing little to reunite you two. Yeah, they didn't know what to do with this character.
Yeah. Which is why I'll say in the fourth one, at least they improved her a lot more. I don't know. Maybe there is potential for the better movies, or for more movies, but they need to get some better ideas. I think that's the issue.
They eventually figure out he was trying to help, though, and they try to get him back on.
Yep, your Disney cameo.
Of course, a Randy Newman musical would have Hakuna Matata in it.
Mm-hmm.
They eventually make it to the car with Andy in it, and they're all reunited. Cut ahead to Christmas time as the toys once again are seeing if any of the new toys might possibly replace them.
Right.
And I gotta say, for as great as this movie is, this last joke is a little weak.
The dog.
And don't worry, Ratchet gonna try on this one. And that was
I do think it was
Toy
Buster
Story,
was
animated
better
film
looking
that
definitely on
changed
that one.
animated films. Is there some stuff that doesn't hold up as well? A few little things, but for the most part, it's as timeless as it is influential.
Yeah.
These characters are easy to like and relate to, and it thrives on being a simple story with strong writing.
Right.
The majority of jokes still land, the world it creates is fun to explore, and like I said over and over, it set the stage not just for how Pixar films would be constructed, but for how the majority of animated films would be constructed.
Mm-hmm.
On the one hand, yes, I would like more variety in the styles of cinematic animation, but let's face it, most cinema leans towards what's popular and will usually do something over and over.
Yeah.
I think I'd much rather see this style be
Unfortunately.
popular and done over and over than, say, Bay's Transformer movies or the Twilight films or some fan like that.
Honestly, yeah.
This is a decent reference to keep returning to. If only we could, stop literally returning to it.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever's in the cards for Pixar, Disney, or animation as a whole, it's good to know the industry can still be shaken up in both the biggest, yet somehow simplest ways, too. I'm the nostalgia critic guy, remember? So you don't have to.
All right, Doug. Well, thank you.
I am Mrs. Nesbit.
Well, good for you.
This month for cameo.
Yeah, well, I think overall, yep, good to see that. Yeah, I think Toy Story is still as timeless as ever. I just think, I do think ultimately we should have just left it at 3 near the end, but again, people are with something like this. Unfortunately, they're going to catch Coward, and they still are to this day. But honestly, what I feel like if they really wanted to make more movies, though, I feel like they actually could make some potentially better ideas. One, now that I came up with when I was after watching this, I love the idea that if we ever saw Sid again after, like, if he's grown up, since Andy's grown up now, what if he was like a crazy college kid, and he was like researching like toys because he still thinks they're alive after all this time, and like tries to figure out what makes them tick or what makes them alive. That actually would be really cool of a concept. Honestly, I do, and like how like I don't know, like if you saw Forky, which is like a toy made of just random junk. I mean, he's made from a plastic fork. Like again, they play with the concept. It would make for a better movie, I think, or even like a better like one-off like short, even like Sid's Revenge or something. Because I don't know, I feel like there's potential in stuff like that. But overall, yeah, I do think Toy Story is definitely a staple for what CGI animation should be. And definitely, like, one of the most timeless Pixar movies I've ever seen. Definitely, like, it comes back to, like, as the base for anything. Plus, it was also fun to see, like, them have small cameos of different things in different areas. Like, weirdly enough, in Finding Nemo, there's actually, in the dentist office or in the waiting room, you see Buzz and Woody sitting in the toy box as Nemo's looking out the aquarium. But what you also see is the kid with the book is actually reading a book about Mr. Incredible, and the Incredibles were a year or so after Finding Nemo. I'd say like those connections to like all their animations were always super fun. And I wish they would have done them now. I also kind of wish they would do the outtakes like they did in Toy Story 2 again. I don't know, but... I don't know. It was the passion in the animation that I miss. Nowadays, you know, it's the usual stuff. But, that being said, we hope you guys enjoyed this reaction nostalgia here. Be sure to like and subscribe and support Channel Awesome however you can. Like and subscribe to me if you like my reaction. And with that being said, I'll see y'all next time. Bye!